This agreement we call it as bills of exchange. Negotiable means transferable from one person to another person. Bills of exchange, order to pay. Promissory note, promise to pay. The act, when it is framed, 1881. Hello everyone, I am your Adarsh sir, lecturing Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. So, we are in the chapter called Bills of Exchange. This is your 8th chapter in your first PUC Accountancy. Now, we will understand what is Bills of Exchange. How many marks you will get if you study this chapter. Each and everything we will discuss in today's session. Now, so this topic will come for 13 marks, means there will be 1 mark, 1 question and 12 mark, 1 question. Total it will cover 13 marks. Now, in this, there is no much calculation. It is all about journal entries. Hope you have done journal entries already. It is also some kind of journal entries only, but easy to calculate. Before that, before we go to the topic, first we will understand what do you mean by bills of exchange. Now, for example, so we can call it as A and B. So person A and person B. Now, so this person we can call it as buyer and this person we can call it as seller. Buyer and seller. What is bills of exchange? With this example, you will understand better. Now, so he is a seller and he is the buyer. For example, the goods sold from B to A. So what happened? Goods sold from B to A. Once the goods is sold, what A has to be done? Yes, A has to pay cash. First one is what? Goods. This one is what? Cash. This is a normal procedure. It happens everywhere. Goods will be transferred from seller to buyer. Once goods is transferred, later what happens? Buyer has to pay cash to the seller. This is a normal procedure. Now, in the same situation, now he has sold goods, but A has told that I don't have money. So please sell the goods on credit basis. What do you mean by credit basis? Sales can happen now, but cash should be transferred later. It can be after 1 month, after 2 months, or after 6 months. That agreement we call it as bills of exchange. Now you will understand better. Now, in the same situation, along with goods, he has given one more thing, that is bills of exchange. It is a normal formal letter. In the letter, B has mentioned that you have purchased 10,000 worth goods after 3 months, means exact after 60 days, you have to pay me back the 10,000 amount. There is an agreement between A and B. Hope you are clear. Again, I'll explain you. B has sold goods. Clear? Yes. A has to pay cash, but he told that I don't have cash right now. Cash can be given after 2 months. For that, what B has done? He has prepared a letter. In the letter mentioning that 10,000 worth rupees has to be paid by A to B after 60 days. It is not only 10,000. Along with 10,000, he has to pay around 500. 10,500. 500 will be called as interest or additional money. Now, how much A has to pay B? Yes, A has to pay 10,500. When he has to pay? Yes, he has to pay after 60 days. This letter we call it as bills of exchange. Now, this is what a paper bill which is exchanged from B to A, transferred from B to A. This we call it as bills of exchange. Hope you understood. Clear? Yes. Now, this document will be prepared by whom? Seller. This document has to be signed by whom? Buyer. So this process we call it as bills of exchange. Clear? Yes. Now buyer also called as drawee. Remember this. Normally while doing problem, we will not use the word called buyer and seller. We will use the word called drawee. And the person who sold goods, who is called as drawer. So now he is called as drawee. Seller is called as drawer. Clear? Yes. Also we can call it as pay. So we can call it as drawer or we can call it as pay. This process we call it as bills of exchange. In brief, whatever sales happen, if the money is paid on credit basis, if the sales took place on credit basis, if money is paid later, for that one document has to be prepared. That document from seller, it will be transferred to buyer. Buyer, what he has to do? He has to sign the document and he has to agree that after 60 days, I will pay that money along with whatever charges they have put. Clear? Now, this agreement we call it as bills of exchange. Now, this comes under what? We have a topic called negotiable instrument. We have a topic called negotiable instrument. Under this, we get bills of exchange, promissory note, and we get check. These three comes under negotiable instrument. Instrument means document. Negotiable means transferable from one person to another person. Under negotiable instrument, we have three type of instrument. The first type is bills of exchange. What I explained you now, that is bills of exchange. Later, we have promissory note. The same situation, same example, but instead of documents given by seller to buyer, it is ulta, reverse. Document will be prepared by buyer, will be transferred to seller, means promise to pay. Buyer will promise that I will pay. But in bills of exchange, it is not promise to pay, it is order to pay. Means the seller will order to A that you have to pay. Clear? There is the only difference between bills of exchange and promissory note. Bills of exchange, order to pay. Promissory note, promise to pay. Bills of exchange, seller will give document. In promissory note, buyer will give document for signature. Clear? Yes. And the last part is check. We are not discussing this because in your syllabus we have only two. One is bills of exchange, other one is promissory note. But check also comes under negotiable instrument. Remember, negotiable means what? Transferable from one person to another person. Instrument means it is a document. Clear? Yes. We'll go for the meaning for your bills of exchange. So in this slides, I have given question and answer format. Why? Because in your examination, you may get one question for 1 mark. So just you get ready for only 1 mark question. You will not get any 6 or 2 marks theory question. One word answer required. Now, name any one type of commonly used negotiable instrument. As I told you, I have given you 3. Which are those? Promissory note, bills of exchange, check. You write any 2. So, bills of exchange, promissory note. Now, second one. Give the meaning of bills of exchange. As I told you, the written order for payment issued by the seller. As I told you, it is a document or order to the buyer. I told you, B will give to A. Is called bill of exchange. It is an acknowledgement of debt. Debt means what? Loan. Debt means loan or payable amount given by the debtors to the creditor. Remember, debtor means buyer, creditor means seller. So this is all about what is bills of exchange. This is not required, just for your information purpose I have given. Why? Because this is all taken from where? Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. This is actually not required. Just remember the act when it is framed 1881. For your 1 mark answer, you should remember only this one. Clear? Yes. We'll go for the third question. Any one feature of bills of exchange. We have around 4 to 5 features. Remember any one. Easy to remember. It must be stamped. Easy. It is in order. As I told you, bills of exchange always order to pay. Promissory note, promise to pay. Now, maker of the bill of exchange must be signed. So, signature is must. Now, bill of exchange must be in writing. So, why I have made boxes means while reading your theory, you have to remember these words. In your examination, they expect these words compulsory. 4 things you have to remember for features. It must be signed, order to pay, and it must be in written, and it must be stamped. 4 things. Now, name any one party to the bills of exchange. As I told you, there are 2 parties are there. Drawee, drawer. Now, drawer also called as payee. I'll go back to your diagram. So please take screenshot of this, because complete bills of exchange you will understand better if you see this picture. Now, who are the 3 persons? One is drawer, drawee, and payee. Remember, drawer and payee can be the same person. The person who receives money. Remember, for your understanding purpose, seller is called as drawer or payee. Buyer is called as drawee. Clear? Easy to remember. Write down there itself. Drawer means what? Seller. Payee means what? He is also seller. Drawee means what? Purchaser, or else you can call it as buyer. So if you mention he is a seller, he is buyer, it is easy to remember. Now, who is the drawer of the bill? Drawer is a maker of the bill. Who is a maker? Maker means seller. Seller is a maker of the bill. Who is the drawee? Simple. Maker is your seller means your drawee must be whom? Your buyer. So these are simple things for 1 mark. Who is a payee in case of same person? The person to whom payment is to be made. Remember, he is also seller. Your payee and your maker both are same. They are called as sellers. Now, so this will be format. Remember what I told you. The total marks coverage for this chapter is how much? 12 plus 1, 13. Excluding POQ, practical oriented question. So you can expect along with 12 plus 1, 13, you may get 5 marks POQ. So it may cover up to 18 marks. Why we don't include POQ 5 marks in your actual marks coverage? Why? Because POQ is not compulsory, but 13 marks is compulsory. The 5 marks POQ, it may come, it may not, but chances are high. Now, so there are 2 formats are there. One is for bill of exchange, one more is for promissory note. What is the format for bill of exchange? Now, this will be your format for bill of exchange. Please take screenshot of this. I'll explain you. Yeah, this will be your bill of exchange. As I told you, there are two persons, seller and buyer. So sales happened. Buyer told that I'll give you money after 1 month or 2 months. Then what seller will do? He will prepare a document and he will pass to buyer. Please sign and give it back. That document we call it as bill of exchange. Now, bill of exchange, as I told you, it must be stamped. What is the value of this thing? 10,000. The place is where, what is the date? Everything is mentioned. Now, 3 months after, as per this situation, they have given 3 months. 3 months after date, pay to me or my order. It is prepared by whom? Remember, seller. Seller will prepare this. The sum of rupees 10,000 only for value received. So signature of the acceptor. Who is the acceptor? Buyer. Signature of the drawer. Who is the drawer? Seller. So the address they have given, signature is there, stamp is there, it is in written, everything they have maintained. This is called your specimen of bill of exchange. Clear? Yes. So there is not capital versus revenue. So it is only revenue part. Remember this. Hope you are clear with this format. So this is all about in today's session. We understood what do you mean by bill of exchange. What kind of documents they prepare. Who is called as drawer, who is called as drawee, and who is payee. Everything we discussed. And bill of exchange, promissory note and check comes under what? Negotiable instrument. What is the act for that? 1881. Everything we understood, and also we understood the format also. So this is all about your today's session. In next session, we will discuss about promissory note. So I'll end this session with the saying that learn concept and earn marks.